What's going on, guys? So I have been a little MIA in making content, but I just getting my stuff back on point the last week. But anyway, I will be coming out with 3 long form videos a week, and we will have another one back to like my normal vlog style out tomorrow. But today, we are going to talk about the untold cons of being on natural. Some of the negatives, because I got a lot of DMs saying like, about the transformation and stuff like that, and people are like, it sounds like you're promoting the use of steroids. And honestly, I was trying to do the complete opposite. Like when I said what I was doing and how horrible it was like, I don't encourage anybody to do this. And we're going to talk about some of the negatives about it. So first off, your progress will no longer become linear. And this is something that is really difficult mentally when you are trying to stay motivated in the gym. So you're on cycle, you feel phenomenal, and then you come off and you lose gains. This sucks, and the motivation to continue training when you are not on a cycle is like in the toilet. It's like, this fucking sucks. You go in the gym every day, you're weaker, you're looking smaller, you're looking more like there's nothing positive. It's almost like you're training harder and it's harder, every workout is harder, and you're looking worse and you're performing worse. Like, so that sucks. And at least when you're natural, like, you have linear progress for the most part, and even if you fall off and you're not like consistent for a while, you don't lose that many gains in my experience. So that's a big one. Number 2, needing to do consistent blood work and needing to just put a needle in yourself, period. It sucks. Like it's not a pleasant thing. I don't think anybody likes needing to go to the doctor and get blood work done every 6 months. That sucks. You have to should tell your doctor what the hell you're doing. And most people don't like having to put a needle in themselves a couple times a week. It's not like something I don't think most people look forward to in any way, shape, or form. It's a hassle. It's literally a pain. Like, it's not the most pleasant thing in the world. When it comes to like relationships, stuff like that, you have to be like straight up, like, this is what I'm doing. And like any drug that you're using, like, somebody has to be okay with that. And there's definitely like extreme, like there's different levels of use obviously and abuse, but it is something that you should be disclosing to your significant others, in my opinion. And it's definitely just another factor. And not to mention, when you come off, your sex drive might, actually 100% will decrease to a point that, like, honestly, if you're in a relationship and you're on a massive cycle and then you come off, like, I've had experience where somebody's like, is there something wrong with me? Like, do you not like, are you not attracted to me? It's like, no, I just like have zero interest, because like I went from like being on all this shit to going on like even just normal amounts of testosterone. Like, my sex drive like is non-existent. So that is something to keep in mind as well, that people don't seem to discuss. And I know that this is a thing for other people, and they're like, oh, but my test is in normal range. But it's like, if your test levels are on a massive cycle at 5,000 and you're on trend and everything else, then you go back to a test level of 1,000. Like, obviously, your sex drive is going to be lower. Even if you're in the normal range now, it's like, based on where your brain was, it's not even like comparable. So I think that's important to keep in mind as well. Lastly, fluctuations in hormones in general is hard on your skin, hard on your, like, as you see right here, like I have a pimple right here, and I actually like don't really break out. So, but I just came off of a massive cycle, so my hormones are going through like massive changes. So more prone to acne. Fortunately, I don't get really bad acne. Like, this is like all I've got, and I was just on like a fuck ton of shit. So I can't really say that's a massive issue for myself, but it's definitely an issue for other people. I know people that are on a couple hundred milligrams of testosterone and have like severe acne that like they have to take Accutane and stuff for, and it still doesn't go away. So that's something to keep in mind. Hair loss is a massive thing that some people do experience. I'm 26 years old and I don't have any hair loss issues, thank God, but it is something to keep in mind, and it is a risk. Also, mood. If you are going on and off of steroids, there's this, everybody talks about like roid rage, stuff like that. I don't really think that that's a thing necessarily. Maybe on specific compounds like tren and like halotestin in particular, maybe a little bit, but I think it just brings out more of your mood. But that being said, when you come off of these compounds, and you have these spikes in estrogen, it is common for people to become depressed and unmotivated. And people tend not to really discuss the enhancement you get for just productivity in general. So when I was working all the time and I was like on a decent amount of steroids, I was using testosterone and a few other compounds simply to be able to work all the time. So if I was using it to be motivated and be able to function on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And when you come off of it, you lose this drive and it like you hyper correct. So you almost can become depressed and like people become like suicidal and stuff like that. So that is a massive thing to keep in mind. And even with proper hormone regulation, like to go from like feeling like Superman to feeling like a normal person will make you feel depressed, because feeling normal after you were super enhanced doesn't feel normal anymore. So you kind of have that dopamine like reset, and that can be really hard to overcome. So those would be the biggest downsides I would see to being on natural. I feel like this is stuff that doesn't really get talked about. So if you have other things, let me know in the comment section down below. Definitely like to hear about it. But the whole thing that I'm trying to say is, if you are natural, stay natural as long as possible. I promise you it is probably not worth it. That's just my experience after using steroids for years. So that is where my head is. And like, if you need it because it's prescribed by a doctor, you need TRT, that is different than being like, I want to get bigger. And something else I'll say is like, if you're trying to get bigger, like, or look better to attract women or like girlfriend, whatever, it does. I don't think that there's a benefit, to be honest. Like, I have had the only thing that getting bigger for me, like I already had a good natural physique. So I think like you should get to a good natural physique before you ever do anything. But if you already have a good natural physique and you go on steroids, you're actually probably lowering the amount of people that are actually interested in you. Like when I was 180 pounds and lean, like more people find that look attractive, I think, than being 215 pounds and lean. Like I think that most people think that that looks more normal. So that is something to keep in mind as well. It's like the average woman doesn't really care. And they honestly, a lot of people would prefer the natural physique over the enhanced physique. So that's my opinion on the situation. So let me know your comments in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry, I'm not cutting any of this out. Kind of just rambled on. But that being said, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys soon.